Pixar is famous for teasing future films with small references and Easter eggs, a tradition hailing all the way back to 1998 with A Bug's Life. Let's take a stroll through animated cinematic history and look at all the times Pixar teased a future film with some sneaky Easter eggs.
Makeup, get out of there. We are on in 5, 4, 3.
There's more than just a nice snack in this vending machine. When Mo goes to the vending machine in Lightyear while his team watches him, a little shout out to Pixar's next film is also hidden inside. While he's at the machine, inside the glass you can see a package with the name Wade Water on the package inside. Wade is the name of one of the characters in the upcoming Pixar film Elemental, and he looks water-based. Surprising?
You don't go for a snack?
Looks like Andy from Toy Story isn't the only Lightyear fan in the Pixar universe. While May runs with her friends down the street, if you look closely at Miriam's skateboard, you can see stickers for socks and the Star Command insignia on the bottom of it. It looks like the boy band from Turning Red might have stolen their name from an even more important artist.
Town.
Yes!
In Luca inside Giulia's home, there is an album for a band called Four Villaggi, with a star in between the 4 and Villaggi on the cover. Turning Red fans will recognize this is an ode to Four Town, the boy band May and company obsess over in Turning Red. The star on the cover is also a dead giveaway that this was intentional.
Four Town forever. Four Town
forever.
Who wouldn't want to go visit Luca and Alberto in 2020? In Seoul, while 22 is joyriding inside Joe's body, they pass by a travel agent's office with a poster for Porto Rosso. This is the Italian town where all the events in Luca take place. I just hope that 18-year-old Ercole guy is gone. Guess he'd be like 60 now, so hopefully he moved out.
Benvenuti a Porto Rosso!
Where can we get our own copy? Dorothea Williams, the Star Club singer idolized by Joe in Seoul, is so infamous that one of her albums makes it all the way to the world of Onward. One of her albums can be spotted hiding in plain sight at the Lightfoot home amongst their record player and other music.
Get on up here, Teach. We ain't got all day.
Onward, to a clue found in Toy Story 4. The Antique Mall in Toy Story 4 has tons of Pixar goodies hidden inside. But for our future film teaser, we must travel to the carnival in the film. On the bouncy castle there, you can see a familiar portrait from Onward. The Pegasus design from the side of Barley's van is also drawn on top of the castle.
I thought you said you fixed the van.
Relax. Whenever is fine.
It's all part of the plan. Pixar already knew how important a new character, Duke Kaboom, was going to be in the next Toy Story film. So just to tease audiences a little bit, they snuck the action figure into Jack's crib in Incredibles 2. Something no one would have suspected as important until the new Toy Story film came out. These guys are really organized.
Kaboom.
Seems the Land of the Dead is filled with fans of Pixar films. In the Land of the Dead, on one of the walls in an alleyway, we see a skeletal version of the Parr family on a wall, teasing the upcoming Incredibles 2 film. Sort of creepy seeing them all post-life, you know? But that's not all. There's also a bonus reference to Toy Story, since Toy Story 4 was also in production at the time. At the beginning of the film, when Miguel is running through his town, there is a Buzz and Woody piñata hanging up.
I don't want to talk about it.
Seems everyone loves the set design in Coco. While some of the cars are practicing some driving in Cars 3, Santa Cecilia from Coco makes an appearance on a TV screen to inspire one of the racers.
Santa Cecilia, mi pueblo!
Win for them!
This is not the only Coco reference in the film, however. Ernesto Del Cruz's famous guitar is also snuck into a scene. But how do cars play guitars? We'll leave that question to the philosophers.
Oh, really?
You're gonna need a magnifying glass and some patience to spot this next tease. In Finding Dory at the end of the truck chase, one of the truck drivers has a band-aid on their finger, and on it is an image of Lightning McQueen from the Cars franchise. Little did viewers know this was Pixar saying, don't forget about Cars because they're coming back.
How true, how true.
While we're not looking for Dory, we're actually looking for Hank in this tease. When Arlo is learning to swim in The Good Dinosaur, Hank the octopus from Finding Dory can be seen deep in the water, very well hidden. As you know, octopi do.
What, the octopus escaped again?
Happy to see him enjoying being free for once. I hope these are statues and it's not a taxidermy type situation. Some of the dinosaurs from The Good Dinosaur can be seen during Riley's road trip across California in Inside Out. First, we see a Triceratops who is a dead ringer for Forrest Woodbush. Riley's dad then has a bit of a car accident with what looks like one of the Brontosaurus's tails. They're reshaded from their original looks in the film, but fans would definitely still recognize them.
Good idea.
Monsters vs. Dinosaurs. Who wins? During the University Scare Games in Monsters University, two characters from The Good Dinosaur can be found on the ground being cleaned up between rounds. Clearly one is Arlo, the other is a Stegosaurus, but we're not sure if there was ever a major Stegosaurus character in The Good Dinosaur. Maybe it was cut after this point of teasing the film.
What are you up to, boy?
Nothing.
Sorry to all the timeline conspiracy theorists out there.
Oh, that's my favorite part!
In Brave, Merida denies being forced to marry by besting her suitors in an archery contest, shaming the other clans, and after a heated disagreement with her mother, Eleanor runs away into the forest. Wisps appear, leading her to the hut of an elderly witch. Merida bargains for a spell to change her fate, and the witch gives her an enchanted cape. While Merida visits the witch's hut, a carving of Sully can be found inside there, a tease for the upcoming Monsters University film. So no, it's not actually there to create a time travel magic theory connecting all the Pixar films together. If you spend any time with videos like this, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Did you know in an alternate universe, Merida from Brave was a car? If you look closely at Ye Left Turn in London during the race, the Dunbrock family tapestry is seen on the wall, but it's a carified version, with Merida, her father, and mother all turned into cars. You think they'll ever humanize the Cars characters so we can see what they'd look like as people?
Oh, you sure you can handle it?
Boys just love their cars, don't they? In Toy Story 3, one of teenage Andy's posters is of Finn McMissile, a character who appears in the sequel to the first Cars film. It's okay if that's the one Pixar film you didn't watch, we've got you covered.
Smooth like pudding, huh?
The film follows Lightning McQueen and tow truck Mater from the first film, who head to Japan and Europe to compete in the World Grand Prix, while Mater accidentally becomes sidetracked with international espionage, and then attempts to uncover a conspiracy led by a mysterious criminal mastermind and his gang, which threatens the lives of all competitors in the World Grand Prix, with the help of British spies Finn McMissile and Holly Shiftwell. Finn's a British spy car who mistakes Tow Mater, one of the main characters, for an American spy and recruits him in the mission to solve the conspiracy to sabotage the World Grand Prix.
I think you forgot the insulting part of that insult.
That last entry was not the only tease from Toy Story 3, however. That's right, everyone's favorite Pixar film, Newt, was also teased in Toy Story 3. Just kidding. So, if you didn't know, Pixar was in production on a film that never made it to the cinemas called Newt. In March 2014, before being canceled, Newt had been turned over to Pete Docter. Pete, at that point, had already directed Up and Monsters, Inc. Pete said that he'll do it, but he had another idea altogether, which he believed was better. This idea turned out to be the basis of Inside Out, which he then directed for a 2015 release. Pixar then didn't end up continuing with Newt for obvious reasons. Inside Out was amazing.
Good job, gentlemen. That could have been a disaster.
However, it lives on in this Easter egg on Andy's door as a Newt Crossing sign. R.I.P. Seems Duke Nukem wasn't the only Toy Story villain teased for Pixar. In Up, as Carl takes his house for its first flight, he flies past the little girl's room. Lotso Huggins' bear can be seen next to the bed lying in a corner.
I'm Lotso Huggin' Bear, but please call me Lotso.
For those who don't know, Lotso Huggins' bear is a large, pink, sentient, strawberry-scented teddy bear who rules Sunnyside Daycare with an iron fist in Toy Story 3 with the aid of his minions, Ken, Big Baby, Stretch, Sparks, Chunk, Twitch, the bookworm, and the monkey. Ultimately, Lotso's reign of terror ended when Andy's toys arrived, all while serving as the latter group's most hated enemy and Woody's arch nemesis.
Holy cow.
And you didn't believe him.
Hey, you didn't believe him first.
So make sure in the future you look very closely to check Pixar films for random toys, because that might be the next Toy Story evil toy. WALL-E not only hoards junk, but tons of future film Easter eggs as well. First, we've got a Carl Fredricksen tease with a cane-inspired chair, as you can see by the 4 tennis ball design on each leg. The chair first shows up while WALL-E watches an old film, and then WALL-E later falls down and collides with it. The design is slightly different from the cane, but it's meant as a tease for our favorite old grump. The second tease is a Rex hidden among WALL-E's items since the crew was working on Toy Story 3. Rex is one of Andy's more anxious toys. Unfortunately, they hadn't invented the dog-to-human speech caller yet. In Ratatouille, while Remy runs through someone's home, the shadow of a dog can be seen on the wall barking. Keen-eyed viewers will recognize the shadow right away as fan-favorite character Doug, the dog, from Up. A tougher Easter egg to spot is one from Hal from WALL-E. Hal is WALL-E's cockroach friend and can be found on the wall of Alfredo's apartment as he walks in. That's not just any fire truck. After Bob and Frozone foil a fire-turned bank heist, Red the fire truck can be seen on the street. We don't hear what he has to say, but we're sure it's something about putting out said fire. Another treasure trove, literally, of future film teases can be found in Finding Nemo.
So you do like it, don't you?
No. I do. I really do like it.
Finding Nemo follows Marlin, an overprotective father fish whose son, Nemo, goes missing after a dentist-turned-fish catcher brings him back to his office. Marlin sets off to find his son with the help of Dory, a forgetful but friendly fish. During the film, while Nemo checks out his new prison, a picture of Mr. Incredible, aka Bob Parr, can be found on a comic book a boy is reading in the dentist's office waiting room, long before anything related to The Incredibles' upcoming film was released publicly.
So soon.
That's fine.
You can also find a Buzz Lightyear toy in the dentist's waiting room as well. Viewers probably assumed it was just a routine Easter egg for Toy Story, but it was actually a hint of more Toy Story films to come. And finally, while it wasn't a tease for a future film, rather one that already had come out, we're going to mention this one anyway. The palm trees from Monsters, Inc. were featured in the dentist's office as well, or at least the 3D models from the film. Of all the things the animator snuck in from Monsters, Inc., no one would ever guess it was palm trees from such a quick scene in the Monsters, Inc. movie. There was plenty of clowning around going on in Monsters, Inc. As Finding Nemo centers around Marlin and Nemo, 2 of the last clownfish, Pixar decided to tease at this heavily in Monsters, Inc. First, you can find a clownfish motif inside the Monsters, Inc. sushi restaurant on the wall behind the restaurant owner/chef octopus monster. Next, when Randall is banished, the place he goes has a clownfish trophy on the wall you can spot as Mike opens the door to it. And the final Nemo tease, and most prominent, was the model for Nemo, which wasn't even finished being designed by that point in Finding Nemo's production, was a toy Boo hands to Sully at the end of the film. We'd also like to mention Jessie from Toy Story 2 is also one of Boo's toys, but that was a reference to a previous film rather than a tease for a later one at this point, but still cool, right? And finally, where all the teasing began.
Finally, I'm a beautiful butterfly!
At the end of A Bug's Life, during the outtakes portion, Woody walks into frame as a fake assistant camera person slating for the bugs in the scene. The staff at Pixar loved this little Easter egg so much that they decided to start sneaking in future film characters and other things into each film for the audience to find. While audiences may have thought this was just a fun little thing to sneak in as everyone knew Woody from Toy Story, of course this was also a subtle nod to the upcoming Toy Story 2 sequel, thus cementing the practice in all future Pixar works.
And there's lots of different reasons why and how we've done that.
Pixar's attention to detail is a defining trait of the studio, and it's the reason audiences can't wait for the next Pixar project to premiere. Which of these was your favorite? Any we missed? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe for more, and thanks for stopping by The Things Animated.
Fudgesicles, I gotta go! Wait!
Goodbye, Boo. Kitty. Kitty has to go.
Auf Wiedersehen!